Hey guys, Jeremy Jacobowitz here. Welcome back to the Brunch With podcast, where I chat with people that inspire me about the things that are on my mind. This week's episode actually features Rayna Greenberg, who's not only co-host of one of the biggest and best podcasts out there, Girls Gotta Eat, but she also happens to be one of my best friends. I mean, in my mind, it still feels like you started the podcast yesterday, but it's been 3 years.
3 years.
Which is insane.
It's insane.
It's more insane that my episode aired almost 3 years ago, and I still get messages every single week from people that listen to that episode and be like, wow, we just heard your story. That's amazing. I mean, like, that truly is the power of what you guys do. If like, not only are they into it, but 3 years, 150 episodes later, they're still digging back there for it.
So, people say like, how do I do this? And how do I build this? And it's like, I don't know how to tell you. Like, I think that you should pick a thing that you like and do it. And hopefully other people like it. But we did not make money overnight. We weren't doing live shows overnight. I think you look at our Instagrams and you're like, oh my God, they're performing for 2,000 people in LA. And it's like, but I started with small shows, and we weren't making money, and we focused on the content first before we focused on the money.
Right. And I think really what you get back to is, I think everyone wants to, they see what your success is, but don't understand at all what that success is. Like, I'll just copy that. That's easy. And it's like, well, what did they do? Missing the actual work it took. They're like, they just like turn on the microphones to talk about dating. I could do that. I talk to my girlfriends every day about dating. It's like, no, there was so much more thought put into it. Beyond the fact that you guys actually were funny and had insightful comments to add, and the creative level of it.
But, Ashley and I decided this was like our full-time thing. So a lot of businesses have a podcast as a part of their brand. They have, I don't know, they have TV shows and radio shows and whatever else they're doing. The podcast for us is the entire brand. That's the business. And yes, like you said, some people are like, do you just turn on mics? But for the fact that it's a 2-hour show once a week, Ashley and I spend 7 days a week working. So just to like let people in behind the curtain a little bit, we run all of our own social media. So we do all of our own posts. We run our entire merchandise line. We run our own website, which is beautiful, and our ticketing, and we do all of our live shows, and we have meetings constantly with PR people, agents, managers. We book our own guests. We edit our own show. So we touch every single part of the business, and we are obsessively obsessed with being perfect on all of it. We really want people to have this great show and then this whole brand that they can like, so they can buy the shirts and they can like the website and they like the social media. And we are obsessed with making the show so dynamic. So we think, okay, the next 4 episodes, what do we need? What do we need? Something funny? Do we need something serious? Do we need a male guest or a female guest? Do we want to, let's talk about open relationships. Let's talk about homosexual relationships. Let's talk about what dating in other countries or in the Midwest is like versus big cities like New York City. There's so much that goes into it. And I'm really glad that we never pigeonholed ourselves as one type of podcast in terms of like just the sex podcast or just the serious relationship podcast, because people are dynamic and they really like a dynamic show. And so we've been really lucky to do really serious topics and really light topics. So we have like really fun, cool stuff like your man who's not your man, and how do I get him to commit to me? And we talk about friendship or being single, but we do really heavy stuff. We've talked about sexual assault, eating disorders, abortion, and our audience has allowed us to do that.
Are you ready to play a little game?
Uh-huh.
So the game is, Rayna, I went into incognito mode on Google because I don't want it to, think of what I want to know. I just want to know what the people want to know about you. And I typed in your name.
I already know what all these things are. I've Googled myself. I know what they are. I'll let you read them, but just so you know, I know.
Net worth.
Okay, so this one's so funny because if you look up my net worth and Ashley's net worth, like, I think that like the last time we looked, it was something hysterical. Like it said that I made $1 million a year and Ashley made like 20 million. I'm not going to share that, but neither of those things are correct.
But my favorite was these two. First one's just
Rayna Greenberg teeth.
Rayna Greenberg teeth, and then Rayna Greenberg teeth before and after.
So I think it's so funny that people look for this, and I think that they look for it because they've seen old photos of me and they're like, what did her teeth used to look like? They used to look like how they looked 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So I got veneers a couple years ago, and it was because I didn't love my teeth. I've done Invisalign, I've done braces. I just didn't ever love the shape of them. And so I got veneers. I also was just we were doing all these live shows. I was being photographed all the time. And it was something I didn't like about myself.
Well, Rayna, I think that's a great place to end it. If people want to find you places, where can they do that?
You can find our show, Girls Gotta Eat Podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, and the like. You can find the Instagram to that is Girls Gotta Eat Podcast and Twitter. And then I am Rayna.Greenberg on Instagram.